Okay, so I'll start with uh, 4 quarters. So as you see on the product roadmap, on the top, we have divided it into Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And on the left-hand side, the SME product, the coach product, and then the billing system. What we have done till now in quarter 1 is the first feature that went live was the discipline-wise X-ray, so which gives the ability to the SMEs to take one discipline at a time and then move forward in the journey, which also gives them quick results and breaks down the 8 disciplines into lesser chunk of work. So that's number one. Then recommendation link content, which is also the next steps. Like once you know your once you have the recommendations with you, it helps you get started as the SME. We have already launched that feature. Currently, we have around 60 to 70 odd recommendations which have content linked to it. And it is an ongoing process. By the mid of Q2 is when we are trying to ramp up this feature, and you'll see most of the recommendations having some content attached to them. Then we got this feedback from most of our SMEs saying that we need to simplify our language, the X-ray language, the questions and answers, also enhance the recommendation. So we did that as well in this quarter. That has also gone live. We also went live with the Nano Book feature, which is nothing but a potent business growth book summaries all at one place, and we have close to around 150 Nano Books on the platform live at the moment, which is both for the SMEs as well as the coaches. We also went live with the Coach Resource Center, which you'll find on your dashboard. It helps you to get started on next time. Any help, any questions that you have, you should probably find your answers in the Coach Resource Center. That's what we have done in Q1, and we are about to end Q1 with these sets of features. What we are doing in Q2 is uh, the first feature which goes live is the navigator, the update and track, which will help the SMEs once they have once they've got their recommendations, once they know how to implement it and take their first step. Update and track will allow them to start assigning responsibility within the team and be accountable to each recommendation, start mapping initiatives to it and take it to completion. And while they do it, they'll see real-time progress in their PMIX. So as and when they achieve the recommendation, the needle moves on the PMIX. So that is what we do. That's the first feature that goes live in April mid. Uh, the second feature that we are currently building and is Habit Builder, which Jay kind of briefly mentioned in the previous slide, which will help the SME to transform their culture from a reactive culture to a very proactive culture, helping them to scale their business. And what we are doing is we have already started developing Habit Builder, and we will be releasing Habit Builder in phased manner. By the end of Q2, end of June this year, we will have the first phase of Habit Builder live for the SMEs. And it is an ongoing process. The entire Habit Builder will get developed by the end of this year. So that's the plan. Next feature that comes in Q2 is the SME Resource Center. Just like we have Coaches Resource Center, for making their lives easier on the platform, making the onboarding easier, and they can find all the resources at one place. SMEs will have a resource center on their dashboard as well. Mm, we then have the nurture journeys. Basically, this is nothing but how do we nudge the SMEs to take the next step in their journey. So basically, that's what we want to do with the nurture journey. Currently, we have them, but in a very simplistic format. We want to optimize it and make it very impactful. And then finally, in Q2, we want to have the payment gateway in place as well, because we don't want money to create a friction in the user journey. It should be very swift and smooth. So by the end of Q2, we'll have this. In Q2, we'll have this as well. While in Q3, in third quarter, what we want to do is we want to have a world-class sleek UI UX on the SME platform, which makes their journey very intuitive on the platform, and they can navigate by themselves. So that is what we want, because we started as an MVP, we launched as an MVP, and we want to like take drastic steps and measure to improve our UI and UX on the platform. In Q3, we would also want to launch the coach marketplace, which Jay just talked about. We are yet to land a final decision on that, but if it all the decision is yes, that happens in Q3. And Q4 is kind of floating for now, and we have kept that as a placeholder. We would want to take feedbacks from both SMEs and coaches, and whatever is important in the product journey, we start incorporating that in the roadmap in the last quarter of the year. So that's the product roadmap.
Okay, thanks, Sam. I'll maybe just add a few additional comments here. The habit builder is we mentioned it's going to be in phases. There's a pilot that's about to start with about 20 carefully selected businesses who are going to be part of an experiment to check that the habit builder actually does work and does add value. We expect it will, but it's a hypothesis, right? So by the time we get to a quarter or two down the road, we'll be pretty sure about that. And then we'll be able to release it for the use of others as well. And now each of you are probably looking at this product roadmap and saying, well, where are my suggestions? The answer is they're in the works, but we're not going to list them all individually. There's some that are chunky subjects and chunky themes, and we're going to talk a little about that later. And there are others that I sort of call the just do it things. They are smaller items, and we will just feed them in when we get the opportunity to do that. So Simon is busy taking on board all of your suggestions, and we'll work out which ones make sense. And by the way, some of you have made suggestions that are mutually contradictory. If we implemented say, for example, two of them, they would fight with each other. So we've got to make some choices about what we implement. And obviously we've got to do this in a way that makes sense. And the ones that are the biggest thorns in your side or add the most value for you are the ones where we will focus our attention first. Okay, so that is the product roadmap.